Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of things about PlayStation Foundry doing a video. I mean, Digital Foundry doing a video on the new Scorpio specs and them being leaked. Now, there is some damage control going around all over Twitter, Facebook, anywhere that your local gamers congregate. So I'm gonna watch the video real quick. I'm not gonna try to like play the whole 9 minutes of the video, but I'm just gonna skim through it and see what's going on and see if this is true what I'm hearing. And pretty much what I'm hearing is that the Xbox Scorpio will not be doing native 4K 60. Now, I did get bits and pieces of this from the social media links that I saw, but I'm gonna watch it right here and we're gonna go through it real quick and see if this is accurate or if it's just people reaching or if Digital Foundry is even saying this. So let's get into the video. So this is Richard, of course, and anonymous tipster. Not a good way to start out your reliable source. Reaching 4K and GPU scaling across multiple Xbox applications.
And so it was relatively easy for me to confirm with sources that it's the real deal. Now, I'll go into depth.
So he said he verified that the source of the information was legit.
From my perspective are the additional details on the Scorpio.
Let me stop this. The white paper that he's referring to, just so you guys can know, is a paper that was floating around that only certain people got to see when the Scorpio was announced at E3. And for you people that don't know, when you go to like places like E3, even though you can get into E3, there's still stuff that you don't see. Just like I can go to E3, but I didn't go to the Xbox Live conference. Just like somebody who goes to the Xbox Live conference can't get to go to certain things backstage. Just like people who can see backstage but can't see all of the things backstage. So there's levels to it. So pretty much what he's saying is this information is from last year E3, which means it could actually not be 100% accurate. But it could pretty much be a pinpoint estimation of what they're working with. And let me pause this. It should be accurate because within 2016 and 2017 and this releasing at the end of the year, this should be accurate due to the fact that they can't just go around and change it. People saying they have time. This thing should be in manufacturing plants right now, or should be like heading there about this time right now if they want to make it for the end of the year. Okay, so he's talking about the ESRAM, which gave the Xbox One and Xbox One S an advantage by having that there to process a bit faster. See, as he just said.
The white paper tells us that despite this, developers should continue to support it. ESRAM, it says, remains essential to achieving high performance on both Xbox One and Xbox One S. However, Project Scorpio and PC are not provided with ESRAM. Because developers...
So that means that's 1X for the Scorpio. It doesn't use this feature, which means that it's running more similar to a PlayStation. So this is the first confirmation that the Scorpio is going to be behaving like a PlayStation, which is weird because you would think with this architecture it wouldn't be running Xbox One games. It sounds like a whole new console. So let's continue.
Now, in our post-E3 spec analysis, we assumed that ESRAM was a thing of the past for Scorpio. Many believed that it would have to remain on the processor die for Xbox One compatibility.
Yes, we just talked about that right here.
The system's 320 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth setup could not match ESRAM's low latency. Now, the Microsoft white paper mentions nothing about ESRAM's latency advantages, simply stating that Scorpio's far higher memory bandwidth outstrips ESRAM's wide bandwidth capabilities. Now, there are other clues as to Scorpio's final hardware setup within the white paper. The 6 teraflop GPU is once again confirmed, with the GPU's compute power rated at around 4.5 times the capabilities of Xbox One. 4 times more L2 cache is also confirmed. A small detail
Beefy.
that does not tell us that much, except that the GPU architecture in Scorpio is at least as modern as AMD's Polaris line. Now,
okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's not good though.
Microsoft gives away little here in the white paper, other than to confirm that Delta Color Compression, DCC, is a part of the Scorpio GPU feature set, just as it is in PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, it's the application of Scorpio's power that is actually the focus of the white paper, and other hints about the hardware makeup of the console are few and far between, but we do learn more about the CPU power of the machine. Now, in the wake of CES recently, there is renewed speculation that Scorpio may feature more advanced Zen CPU cores, something I thought highly unlikely in my initial speculation.
Definitely, I think so too.
Yeah,
Unlikely.
Throwaway comment within the Microsoft white paper again makes Zen sound highly unlikely.
Wow.
It talks about improving graphical effects rather than
That's a bad shot, guys.
power on resolution. But tellingly, it also says this. Another option developers might consider is frame rate upscaling.
No. Interpolation? Yup, interpolating.
Interpolating animation.
Whoa. Okay, we gotta pause it. We ain't even gotta go no further with the video, actually. Okay, first of all, interpolation is something that if you're an avid TV person, if you know about TVs and displays, you know what that is. Interpolation is simply, let me explain what it is. Matter of fact, let me see if he says it. Interpolation is when you double frames. So let me see if he's going to say that right now.
From my perspective, the obvious conclusion is this. If Scorpio did have next-gen Zen cores, and 8 of them no less, we can safely assume that there would be no need to interpolate CPU tasks like animation. So yeah, we still think that it's more likely that the same Jaguar cores found in Xbox One and indeed PS4 and PS4 Pro will be in Scorpio, albeit running at much higher clocks. Now, Scorpio has always been about running Xbox One game engines at 4K resolution. And the white paper we've seen primarily concentrates...
Alright, he's beating around the bush. I need to know.
For starters, it talks about how...
Is it going to talk about doubling the frame rate?
...in a linear fashion to display resolution. There's discussion of how the Microsoft first-party game running at 1080p sees the number of pixels processed increased by a factor of 3.5x as opposed to the 4x increase in display pixels that we actually see. There's also
that is 4K.
a dose of reality in the white paper too. Scorpio offers a 4.5x boost to GPU power over Xbox One, but many Xbox games render at 900p. Or even 720p, and from there we're looking at a 5.76x increase in pixel count or 9x for 720p. Now, Microsoft acknowledges that developers may not wish to spend all of that GPU power on drawing pixels, talking about techniques it calls half resolution and sparse rendering.
Bad terms.
Half resolution is stuff we've seen before, where the main frame buffer would be native 4K, but elements within it, like transparencies, ambient occlusion, shadows, or lighting, well, they can render at half resolution. It can look a bit dodgy when employed in a standard 1080p game, but it works out fairly well at 4K. As for sparse rendering, well, that's Microsoft's name for checkerboarding, and the technique...
Oh, they confirmed it. No, the guys, that's it.
Microsoft even refers developers to the same Rainbow Six Siege presentation Mark Cerny showed me last year. Now, this is a game that implements its own checkerboarding technique.
Oh, wow. So it's official. No native 4K.
For Scorpio, the technique is potentially even more exciting, where we see 1800p checkerboarding on PS4 Pro as we do with Watch Dogs 2. Well, Scorpio stands much more of a chance of hitting full 2160p. Now, we've seen how good that works on the PC version of Watch Dogs 2 at 4K, and we've no problem at all seeing the same thing on Scorpio, even if, strictly speaking, it's not native 4K. This does open up an interesting question, of course. On the face of it, the in-depth discussion of techniques like this may be suggesting that Scorpio isn't the true 4K console that Microsoft...
Oh, just the shots. You see this? PlayStation Foundry got paid. The check cleared.
At least one 1080p title has transitioned relatively easily to native 4K on Scorpio. Now, for our money, we reckon that the white paper could possibly be talking about the Forza Motorsport engine.
All right, we could stop here. I was looking to see if he was going to talk about the interpolation. So I'm gonna skim through real quick just to see.
If we assume that it's interpolating animation.
Yep, there it is. It's right there. I just saw it. Okay. Let me see. That's something we need to talk about.
Running graphics at 60
Boom. Okay, this is the problem here. Okay, the CPU is going to be believed to be running at 30 hertz, but interpolation will make it use 60 hertz processing. This is what that is. Let me explain it for you guys, because this is going to be the determining factor on whether this is going to be the Xbox version of a PlayStation 4 Pro. And this confirms it right here, this one little piece that you're looking at. Interpolation is when you take 30 and you make it 60. It's pretty much gonna add the missing frames to the image. The problem with doing that is that's something that causes jitter. It causes a lot of judder and screen tearing. So this is something you kind of don't want to see. If you're somebody that plays on a monitor, or if you have a high-end display or TV, you don't want this. This is something that you get in cheaper model TVs, and it does 60 hertz, but it usually does that soap opera effect. But because it's adding frames, it's actually making the image jump a little bit. This is something that's cool for like a 24p movie or something like that, but for gaming, when you really need to see the frames, you're gonna notice that. So that's not good. I think it's safe to say we got the confirmation that the Xbox Scorpio is indeed going to be competing with the PlayStation 4 Pro and is the Xbox equivalent to the PlayStation 4 Pro, unfortunately. So for you guys out there that were hyping this up, I did say in the Weapon World podcast that the Xbox Scorpio could not compete with a PC or come close to native 4K for $399, and that was confirmed to be the target price that they're going for. So when you factor in all of this and this one term interpolating, it's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap. Xbox community, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's definitely a wrap. Okay, you can stop the native 4K now. Does that mean they're gonna have native 4K games? The PlayStation 4 Pro has native 4K games, and it has games that run at 60, but it doesn't have 4K 60 games. Not too many. There's only like 2 or 3. So that'll be the same case for the Scorpio, of course. And for you people that think because it's more powerful than a Pro, let me just explain one thing to y'all. PlayStation is currently at 50+ million consoles sold. So when it comes to third-party games, sure, the Xbox is going to have better hardware, but it's going to be easier for game developers to make the game just universally work for the weaker hardware. So that would be the PlayStation 4 Pro in this situation, meaning that everything is probably going to look the same at this point. Instead of one having 900 and 1080p, everything's probably going to just be 1800p checkerboard rendering, pretty much. So I'm just letting you guys know that the playing field may be evened by this, not actually the playing field will be tilted towards Xbox. Now when it comes to in-house games, which we currently have another problem, Xbox doesn't have many and they're killing them off, that's when you can see this be something that's beneficial to the Xbox side of things. But other than that, this is going to be a problem. So I'm just letting y'all know now, like I said before, $399, you're not going to get a game console that's going to compete with a $4,000 or $2,000 4K PC, guys. Cut it out. This is the proof in the pudding. I'm not even going to continue that video. I'm just going to let you guys know that that's all you need to do is look at the screen right here and read this and understand what this is, and know that you're not going to get any 4K native games, not like that. You're going to get some better quality, but if you really want native 4K 60, you're going to have to stick to PC, and this just confirmed it. So that's pretty much what I wanted. Now, am I disappointed? Slightly, but I expected this already. Will I still be getting a Scorpio? 99.9% day one purchase for me anyway. But at the end of the day, just letting you guys out there know before y'all start getting crazy talking about this is old information, yada yada yada. This is not what you want to see for 4K. These are not the right terms to be using. Anytime you hit the term upscale, up anything, you don't want that, because you want it native. You don't want anything being up, because that means you're losing quality by pushing it up. You're blowing something out. So at the end of the day, man, I'm going to make this video short because it's already too long, 14 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Unfortunately, PlayStation Foundry strikes again, baby. The Scorpio specs, if these are legit the specs, which I'm assuming they really are, because this thing should be heading to a manufacturing plant, it ain't looking like you're going to get much more than a PS4 Pro at this point. So guys out there, just keep it easy. Keep it gaming and just stay up out of that console war. Stop talking all of that PlayStation doesn't do native 4K, because the Xbox ain't either. But we'll see when it comes out. Later.